Good evening, Anne Arundel County. Good evening, America. Welcome to Promoting Don't Get Fooled Again with Class. I'm your host, Anthony Bynum. The name of our production company is the Glen Burnie Players. These are exciting times in Anne Arundel County. They're cold times in Anne Arundel County. We're supposed to get some snow tonight, so just kind of bundle up for this weekend. Now, before we get the show started, we want to do a shout out to our affiliates. So for our friends over at Greenbelt Cable Access in PG County, we say hello. For our friends at Amherst Media in Amherst, Massachusetts, we say hello. And again, we want to thank you both for airing our shows. The current show out there right now, we have two actually. One of them is Talking Tech with Friends, a show that's driven by technology. And the second one is Maryland Men of the Cloth, where we dive and try to learn a little more about the lives of some of our local clergy. Okay. As far as this episode is concerned, for Promoting Don't Get Fooled Again, we want to give credit where credit is due. So we're looking at Wikipedia for a lot of the information we said, but also we got something from just says here, original plan copyright was from Hamilton Trust. And that's going to concern the third segment of our today's show. So for the first one, I was thinking recently, I had to try to replace some, we'll call them vehicles that were very near and dear to me. And to do this, there's one source I knew I could depend on, and that's maybe my most favorite manufacturer, because right now we're not going to talk about a person, but we're going to talk about a company. The manufacturer, the product we're talking about is Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels isn't a company. Mattel is a company. So we're going to start there. Let's go to the screen share. Okay, and let's talk a little bit about Mattel. So it was founded in January 1945 by businessman Harold Matson and a husband-wife team of Ruth and Elliot Handler. Now, I just read where Mattel is actually a combination of the names. Okay, so somehow between Matson and Handler, they came up with the name Mattel. They couldn't figure out how to get Ruth's name in there. That's what I read in Wikipedia. They're headquartered in El Segundo, California. It's always got a kick out of Red Fox back when he was doing Sanford and Son. He'd always say, El Segundo. But we'll tackle him another time. They have a presence in 35 countries, but they sell their product in 150 countries. There are three main business segments. You have Mattel North America, Mattel International, and Mattel American Girl. Now, I want to talk about Hot Wheels. So I'm going to move forward here. There they are, right? Hot Wheels. So the company was started May 18th, 1968. Hot Wheels was released to the market on that date. A team of inventors included rocket scientists and car designers. Mattel's first foray into marketing came when they sponsored the Mickey Mouse Club TV series a few years later. Actually, that goes back in the 50s, actually. I had to look at the date. But this is a giant company. They're into film, they're into entertainment. They're all in when it comes to buying other companies. Sometimes they've done extremely well. Sometimes they've almost lost their shirt. But they are like I said, a major company. So the acquisition started back in 1962 with the acquisition of the D&C Toy Company. They bought something called Standard Plastics, and they bought Hong Kong Industries in 1966. Many more, to include Ringling Brothers. They bought them in 1971, but they sold them in 1982. Carnegie Toy Company. Now, they made miniatures also, but their miniatures were larger than Hot Wheels. In fact, as a child, as a kid, if my mom was flush with cash, she'd buy me a Carnegie. My first Batmobile, I believe, was a Carnegie. They're still around. 1993, they bought Fisher-Price. Like I said, this is a giant company. I think it has something to do with the white wall. Because if you look, it's not a white wall at all. It's a little purple line, but it looks so cool. Yes, in the first grade, I brought some Hot Wheels to school. We'd race them. We had a little area with a nice little slope. We'd race them. I trade them. I didn't do so well in the trading business of cars. I learned my lesson by bringing toys to school. But it's that. It's a great company. Provided a lot of employment for many, 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 many people over the years. You probably have a lot of lifers in Mattel. Anyway, what I want to do now, I don't want to move forward. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to keep it in timeshare. Last weekend, my wife and I went to see a play. I bought the tickets for a play a long time ago, the newest version of Hansel and Gretel. So we went there, and it was actually sponsored by the Annapolis Opera. So it was actually an opera. That's what it was. So a lot of singing, a lot of singing. You know how it is with opera. You need to know what's going on to kind of understand it, because they talk about arias and it's kind of hard to follow because there's no, there's no subtitles. You know what I mean? There was new writing for Hansel and Gretel. The witch was played by a guy. There was an actress who played Hansel. So it wasn't a Hansel that I remember, but it was entertaining in a kind of a new way, I guess. The center, though, for the Maryland Hall, because this is what this is about, you can see it in the background, is multidisciplinary center. It's located on 801 Chase Street. Now, it was founded in 1979 at the location of the former Annapolis High School. There are 4 resident programs there. There's the Ballet Center of Maryland. I don't know if they were involved in that production. Annapolis Opera, they were involved in that production. The Live Arts of Maryland, and the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. The orchestra, and it was just a 4-person piece, right? They had a piano and a couple of strings. They were fantastic. They were fantastic. They stood right up on stage. All the action occurred right in front of us. Now, these types of enterprises only work when there's funding. So you have an empty high school, and someone said, let's create an art space there where people can come and be entertained, people can participate and work on their talents. Because, the arts are important. Television is just electronic art, if you really think about it. So you have places like I said, Maryland Hall for Creative Arts, or the Chesapeake Arts Center in North County, which we talked about before, right? Someone has to put up some money. There's a lot of training there, a lot of young people getting a chance to find themselves. Older people still want to be useful, have a chance to find themselves. These are great, great things. They're great things. So I'm going to stop the screen share, because we have one more thing we want to do. So remember we started off by talking about Hansel and Gretel. So this document that I'm going to read from, it just says here, original plan, copyright, Hamilton Trust. I don't know who actually wrote Hansel and Gretel. I have a feeling that a lot of these fairy tales that were created, I believe in Europe, probably in the Middle Ages, maybe we'll get back to that and get a little more information on that, don't have actual writers. And I understand that they've been scared down a little bit over the years. Someone told me one time that fairy tales are like really scary things. But we're actually going to read this one called Hansel and Gretel. So, Hansel and Gretel were lost in the woods. The breadcrumb trail did them no good. They found a cottage built with gingerbread. Hooray, we are saved, the poor children said. The witch was lurking. She trapped the two. She put Hansel in a cage and made Gretel clean the loo. The witch was blind. They tricked her with a bone. They pushed her in an oven. Then the children ran home. Now that's the Hansel and Gretel I remember. But, it was a long time ago. So, nice to go back memory lane, right? So everybody, again, thank you for being who you are. Thanks for watching the show. Let's start off there. I know that the Greater Ferndale Civic Community Association is working on their Ferndale Day. It's going to be May 18th, so it's probably not too early to give them a shout out. They're working hard at it, and I'm sure it's going to be a good time. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. So for everyone here at the Glen Burnie Players, my name is Anthony Bynum. Until next time, bye-bye.